felt you must be chastised.
It was a misunderstanding, that is all, she told him. His Majesty thinks me a harlot because of my error with Lord Wolfe, but that was years ago when I was but a girl. I am a respectable woman now.
And an ungrateful one. Was it not at the king's pleasure that you were allowed to return after your disgrace?
Sir Christopher clicked his tongue disapprovingly.
Yet you will not grant his Majesty a little pleasure in return.
She shivered, knowing nothing she could say would sway these men from their purpose. They were king's men, and this secret punishment was to be meted out to her on his behalf, so his Majesty's honour might be satisfied. "Look how she stares, how she pants, those green eyes bright as a cat's. Oh, she is wanton indeed," one of the younger ones whispered over the nobleman's shoulder, his hand cupping a swollen groin. "Hold her down for me. I want to go first, teach her a lesson."
"Now, Marcus," drawled the older man, turning to clap him on the shoulder. "Have a little patience, boy. There is plenty to go round."
A slender man in a handsome gold and silver doublet, still youthful enough to have no beard, stirred at the back of their group. He was the only one frowning with distaste. "Sirs, I must protest. A rape is no good sport. Let us leave this ugly business, gentlemen. The lady is not willing."
"She'll be willing for a shilling,"
one cried out in a jest, and several laughed, gazing hotly at her breasts where they spilled over her bodice. Sir Christopher turned to the young man, his expression venomous.
"What is your objection, Lord Munro? The king bade us use this wench as we would, did he not?"
The young lord muttered. "She should be taught to respect the king's bidding, but not in such a way that the court will be enraged."
"Margerie Croft is no virgin," the older man told him impatiently. "All our pricks together will break nothing but her pride. If such sport is not to your taste, Munro, leave us to our man's work and go find some young stag for your bed."
They all turned then, hooting and mocking the young lord, who slunk away into the darkness with a sullen look. While they were busy laughing at the youth, Margerie picked up her skirts and ran out of the antechamber into an unfamiliar side corridor.
"Ho there! The whore has slipped her leash!" one of them exclaimed.
A shout went up, and the men pursued her, laughing and whooping drunkenly, pouring out of the antechamber after her like hounds on the trail of a fox. Her heart was thumping. She had to get away from them, but the corridor was dimly lit and narrow, and she did not know the way. She glanced back and did not see that the ground was about to slope abruptly upward. Tripping over her own feet, Margerie fell heavily to her knees on the stone floor. She hissed, wincing. The men were almost upon her. Her head swung, searching for some way to escape. There was a darkened doorway to her left, its door partially opened. She clambered through the narrow doorway on hands and knees, hampered by her gown. She could see nothing in the darkness, but the floor was dusty, and she knocked over a stack of empty wooden crates in her hurry. "Oh, sweet lord, I beg of you, no!" Margerie cried in horror as the king's men found her again. They pushed into the chamber, surrounding her with lusty delight.
"But this place is perfect for a rape," one said, holding his flaming torch aloft to reveal some kind of storeroom. "We will not be disturbed here. Shut the door. Let us be about it."
She was dragged unceremoniously to her knees, her arms pulled tight behind her back. One of the younger men tumbled the velvet hood from her head so that her mass of red hair burst out unrestrained. "By Christ, she's a beauty!" he exclaimed thickly. Then Sir Christopher was there again, towering above her. He dragged her head back cruelly, and Margerie found herself blinded by the flaming torch held above their heads. She stared up at avid, jeering faces, on her knees in the center of a tight-pressed ring of male bodies, some unlaced, their stiff members jutting toward her.